Philippine American War. Philippine American War, known alternatively as the Philippine Insurrection, Filipino American War or Tagalog Insurgency, was fought between the First Philippine Republic and the United States from February 4, 1899 until July 2, 1902. Tensions arose. The United States annexed the Philippines under the theory of Paris at the conclusion of Spanish-American War. Rather than acknowledging the Philippines' Declaration of Independence, developing into the eruption of open battle. The war can be seen as a continuation of the Philippine struggle for independence that began in 1896 with the Philippine Revolution against Spanish rule. Fighting between the forces of the United States and the forces of the Philippine Republic broke out on February 4, 1899 in what became known as the 1899 Battle of Manila. On June 2, 1899, the First Philippine Republic officially declared was against the United States. The Philippine President Emilio Aguinaldo was captured on March 23, 1901, and the war was officially declared ended by the American government on July 2, 1902, with the victory of the United States. However, some Philippines groups, some led by veterans of Katipunan, a Philippine revolutionary society that had launched the revolution against Spain, continued the battle the American forces for several more years. Among those leaders was Macario A. Sakay, Veterans Katipunan member, who established or re-established the Tagalog Republic in 1902 along Katipunan lines, in contrast to Aguinaldo's republic with himself as president. Other groups, including the Muslim Moro peoples of the southern Philippines and the quasi-Catholic Pulahan religious movement, continued hostilities in remote areas. The resistance in the Moro-dominated provinces in the south, called the Moro Rebellion by the Americans, ended with their final defeat at the Battle of Broadbagsak on June 15, 1913. The war resulted in at least 200,000 Filipino civilians' deaths, mostly due to disease such as cholera and the famine. Some estimates for total civilians dead reach up to 1 million. Atrocities were committed during the conflict by both sides, including torture, mutilations, and executions in retaliation for Filipino guerrilla warfare tactics. The U.S. carried out reprisals and Scorched Earth campaign and forcibly relocated many civilians to concentration camps, where thousands died. The war and subsequent occupation by the U.S. changed the culture of the islands, leading to the rise of Protestantism and disestablishment of the Catholic Church and the introduction of English to the islands as the primary language of government, education, business, and industry. In 1902, the United States Congress passed the Philippine Organic Act, which provided for the creation of the Philippine Assembly, with the members to be elected by Filipino males. Women did not have the right to vote until a 1937 plebiscite. This act was superseded by the 1916 Jones Act, Philippine Autonomy Act, which contained the first formal and official declaration of the United States government's commitment to eventually grant independence to the Philippines. The 1934 Tidings-McDuffie Act, Philippine Independence Act, created the Commonwealth of the Philippines the following year, increasing self-governance and established a process toward full independence, originally scheduled for 1944 but delayed by World War II and the Japanese occupation of the Philippines. The United States eventually granted full Philippine independence in 1946 through the Treaty of Manila.